There we go. So
Oh,
I know it's all very, very
yeah.
official. Um, but yes. So hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Oh, thank you for allowing me to talk to you today. I've just got a few questions, if that's okay.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, so the first one being is what made you decide to buy a second home?
Well, mainly we bought a second home to have an option to go down to Devon to be closer to my parents, Mr. and Mrs. Tarrant, because they were getting elderly, and so we were looking at having somewhere where we could go and stay when we came down to visit. Because they no longer had room in their house and were not able to put us up. So we decided we'd buy a second home and have be able to combine it with some time in Devon and also do some family visits.
So what? So your second home's in Exmouth.
Yep.
So why did you choose that particular location?
We chose that location because it was close to the sea, which is nice. Um, I guess I moved away from Devon for a long time ago, and um, always missed being close to the sea because I was brought up when I was a young lad right next to the sea. But also because Exmouth was close enough to my parents' house to be able to visit and was a nice place to go and visit. But we also chose Exmouth because it had good transport links, not just for us to be able to drive down, but also to be able to give an option for others to be able to catch the train down to Exmouth. And also it's a real town. So it's not just a holiday place. It's got, real life going on there. So there's some nice things to do for going for walks and things, but also being by the sea. But also there's a town there, and you can, go and be a little bit sociable in town.
Hmm. So with your second home, obviously the council tax has shot up.
Mhm.
Mm. So would you say that your place has been affected by the increase in council tax?
Um, well, not particularly because we rent it out as a holiday rental. So I wouldn't be comfortable about having a second home without doing something else with it, because just leave it empty for a lot of the year doesn't seem very fair. And also because of the costs of keeping a second home. So we rent it out for probably about 20 something weeks a year via an agency, via a local holiday agency. And that enables us to sort of make sure the property is used, to make sure it's a that there is some activity going on in the property. It enables us to do some visits down to Devon, and also obviously it helps to cover some of the costs. But also from a second home point of view, the council tax, if you're running it as a business, there's a relief on the council tax.
Okay. So would you say that owning a second home is costly to maintain?
Yes, it can be very costly to maintain. Um, of course, any house is potentially costly to maintain, but you've got to make sure it's at a certain standard if you're going to rent it out to other people as a holiday home. Um, but of course, it's not just the costs that you know about, it's the costs that you don't know about. So, inevitably, there are maintenance items that you have to cover, that you make sure you're budgeting for in terms of keeping the house in good order. And there's always stuff that needs to happen that you can't predict. So, yes, it is costly, and it's not quite as straightforward as just saying, oh, great, I'm going to have a second home. You've got to be considering that it does cost a lot of money for a variety of other reasons. Obviously the bills, but also some of the maintenance items.
So, in your opinion, do you think that having second homes is beneficial to like towns?
Well, obviously, potentially, if it was left empty, it would be, a relatively selfish thing to have. I guess if you're going to use it a lot and you're going to be down there a lot, then that's fine if that's part of your life and you've got maybe a small flat in London and somewhere to live in Devon. That's maybe it's not quite a second home, maybe it's your first home effectively, but um, so yes, it depends on how you're going to use it, really.
And lastly, what ways do you think that the council or the government can maintain the balance between second homes and people buying properties to live in the area?
Well, I guess there is a careful balance there in terms of the the second homes can increase the prices of houses. Whether that strictly happens is of course there's a lot of economic analysis that's been done on what happens there. I mean, you could argue that in the centre of London, uh, there are a variety of overseas communities that have developed because people have got second homes because they come to live in London, and our government and our the leaders have accepted the fact that people are coming in to invest, to buy these kind of properties. I guess the question is overall, is the benefit, is there an economic benefit to both the country and the location or the area that's involved to having that happening. And arguably, of course, if people are in there and they're spending money and they are buying from shops, we would always use local builders or local people to do work in the house.
Yeah.
The overall benefit from that point of view is very significant. So yes, that's an important part of the equation. Um, so yes, and the other thing I think you were talking a little bit about the costs. You've also got to say that there are certain legal requirements if you're going to lease out or rent out a property. You've obviously got some liability about having a second home, so that's always got to be considered.
Oh, that's all that I've got for you. Thank you very much.
That's you're most welcome, and yes, let us know how you get on with your
I will.
research.
I will. Thank you. Right, now I got to